Blakely is back, everybody, and today we are going to be covering how St. John's is currently dominating the transfer portal. Rick Pitino has done his due diligence and has scouted these best available transfers, and he's gotten all the top names. Well, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Now, before we get into the video, I would like to take a second to remind you guys to drop a like and subscribe on this video if you are liking the content that I've been putting out recently. As you can see, 97% of you are not subscribed. Even if just a small percentage of you just would drop subscribe, I would appreciate it, help with the content, but let's get straight in the video now. So now getting into their main transfers, throughout the portal, St. John's has been one of the biggest star-studded landing spots for all these guys. And Ian Jackson just committed. He's been averaging 12 points per game. He played at UNC last year. He's only a freshman. Same with Hosan Sanin. He was only a freshman at ASU, also averaged 12 points per game. And then Bryce Hopkins was a senior from Providence, got injured. He's been injured the past 2 seasons, honestly, but he averaged 17 points per game and 7.7 rebounds per game in the 8 games that he did play this season. So now I will break down each of these prospects for you guys and show how, they're going to fit with St. John's this next season. First off, we got Ian Jackson, the freshman transfer from UNC. He's headed to St. John's, playing under Rick Pitino, and on the court, Jackson is a nightmare for defenses. He's explosive in transition, aggressive getting to the rim, and he's building a dangerous pull-up game. At St. John's, he's stepping into a system that will let him fully unleash that athleticism. Pitino runs an up-tempo, pressure-heavy style, and Jackson's motor and speed fit that perfectly. Expect him to be flying up and down the court, causing chaos on both sides. This transfer also shakes up his NBA draft outlook. At UNC, Jackson would have shared touches with the crowded roster. At St. John's, he'll have the ball in his hands a lot more alongside these new transfers. If he's efficient, it shows better decision-making and locks in on defense. He can efficiently and absolutely keep his lottery pick status alive. But if the turnovers pile up or the efficiency dips, scouts will notice. It's a higher risk, higher reward situation now. The fit with the St. John's roster is another reason this move makes sense. Pitino's group has veteran pieces and floor spacers who can take some of the pressure off of Jackson, letting him attack without always facing stacked defenses. And Rick Pitino is tough. He demands 2-8 effort and maturity. But if Jackson buys in, Pitino will put him in a position to shine and prep him for the next level. He could honestly have a RJ Lewis level outbreak this season. And honestly, the bottom line is if Ian Jackson is betting big on himself, he's choosing a path with more responsibility, more touches, and more exposure, but also more scrutiny. If it clicks, we're talking about a player who could be one of the faces of college basketball next season and an early first-round pick next summer. Now, the addition of Hosan Sanin on top of Ian Jackson is what's making this transfer class for St. John's so notable and honestly so intriguing for next season, because both of these prospects are very, very explosive and very, very young. Hosan Sanin's play style, he jumps off the screen. He's a 6'6" wing with elite athleticism, quick twitch movement, and a real knack for getting buckets. He's aggressive attacking the rim, he can rise up over defenders in mid-range, and his three-point shot has been steadily improving. Offensively, he's a mismatch hunter, too quick for bigger wings, too strong for smaller guards. But what really fits Pitino's blueprint is Sanin's defensive upside. He's long, he moves his feet well, and he plays with a competitive fire that Pitino demands. In a full court press or a switching defense, Sanin can be a weapon right away. He's raw in spots, sometimes he can force plays or be a little streaky, but his ceiling is sky high. And when you look at the bigger picture, Sanin's addition makes even more sense. St. John's is building a roster that's all about versatility and athleticism. Between Ian Jackson's, Zubia Ejiofor, and the next transfer we're going to get into, Pitino is stacking a team with length, speed, and 2-way ability. Sanin won't have to carry the load alone, but he's stepping into a system that will maximize his strengths. Pitino will let him defend, run, and attack without being bogged down in a slow half-court offense. Pairing Sanin's raw explosiveness with experienced, tough-minded transfers around him creates a dynamic, deep roster that's built to make noise both in the Big East and nationally. Now, the glue that could hold this entire roster together is Bryce Hopkins. He is coming back strong after an injury, and he brings something that the young guns don't have yet. Proven high-level college experience. He's a 6'7" forward with a powerful frame, the ability to score inside and out, and a physical, no-nonsense playing style that fits Rick Pitino's system like a glove. While Jackson and Sanin bring the highlight reel athleticism, Hopkins brings stability. He can post up smaller defenders, stretch the floor with a clean mid-range game, and bully his way to tough buckets when the offense bogs down. He's also a strong rebounder, something St. John's desperately needed to pair with these up-tempo guards and wings. But it's not just the offense. Hopkins is a physical switchable defender who can guard wings and even some small ball bigs. With Jackson Sanin pressuring on the perimeter, Hopkins anchors the second line, cutting off drives, grabbing boards, and pushing the ball up the floor to ignite the fast break. Most importantly, Hopkins' experience gives this roster balance. When things get chaotic because Pitino's style demands constant chaos, Bryce is the guy who can settle everything down, get a bucket, or draw a foul to stop a run. This blend is what makes this so exciting. The young stars bringing energy and explosiveness, the veteran leader bringing toughness and control. Bryce Hopkins isn't just fitting in, he's the piece that could elevate St. John's from dangerous to straight up dominant in the Big East. Altogether, these transfers are hopefully going to lead St. John's to have an even better season than they did last season. And under Rick Pitino, it has just constantly been better and better and better every single year. And note that next season should be no different. I mean, they have all of these great young athletic transfers coming in alongside the veteran leadership and some key returners, as in Zubia Ejiofor. It'll be fun to see what happens with these guys. But that is all I have for you guys today. I appreciate the support as always. It's been huge recently. Had a couple of videos that have kind of hit the algorithm pretty well. Always appreciated. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Blakely will be back in the next one.